Congratulations. So you guys just closed on your first house, maybe it's your second house. But hey, listen, a couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about as far as what to do. Sometimes we forget to do these things. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. So tip number one, changing the locks out, right? So now that you've got your keys, you're excited, you're in the house, but hey, listen, we got to remember that somebody else had lived there before. And in this case, we just want to change out the locks just to make sure you don't get any sudden surprises in the middle of the night, somebody walking into the house, But it's actually another good time to change out the locks for the reason that maybe you want to change the decor on the locks and the doors and stuff like that. So great chance to do that, catch up on that. So that's going to lead me into tip number two, which sometimes we forget to do as well, and that's the mailing address, right? So you've come from one place, you're going to another place. Very important to get that mail changed out, right? So you want to update all your important information at work, credit cards, or whatever else that you have going on. Get that all changed out, have that right address put on your license. That's really important to do as well too, because you don't want to go too long with the old address, and then it's just a hassle. So getting the address changed out, and then also too, one of the things that you're going to probably notice as well too is that you're still going to receive mail from the previous owner. So I would put that to the side, get that ready, maybe take it to the post office, or give it to the mailman at the same time, or just call your agent. Agent can help you out. I love to help out with that. So any of those type of things. So basically you want to do is change out the address, get the address all updated on all your forms and your employers and wherever out you need to change that. So that's tip number two. Now tip number three is, so now that you've gotten your keys, you've changed out the locks, you updated all your mailing address and getting all that sorted out and stuff like that. Third tip I would say is, before you get too excited and start moving everything into your house, now time being permitted here, I personally recommend that you go in and start painting your walls. I personally went in, painted my walls, took down that popcorn ceiling that I just didn't like, did all that, updated the flooring, did what I possibly could before I had to move in. So that way, because it's just going to make it a lot easier on you if you have all your furniture in there and now you're trying to paint, you're trying to remodel, it's just going to create such a big hassle. It's everything dirty, it's really messy, and you don't need any more of that stress, because honestly, once you buy a house, it's so emotional. You got so much going on, and that's one last thing you want to do is stress yourself out. So time being permitted, go in there before, a couple of days or a week before, and just try to paint and do whatever else you need to do. So that way when you do start moving in your furniture, you're solid, everything's great. So that's tip number three. So tip number four is going to be going and introducing to yourself to your neighbors. So it's just a good neighborly thing that I think should be done more often than not. So it's just a good way to kind of let everybody know, because now that you're moving into this neighborhood, you want to be friendly with your neighbors, right? I mean, when you're not home, they're the ones that are going to be looking out for you. I know in my neighborhood, I know pretty much everybody in the vicinity that I live. I don't know the whole block, but I do know the majority of the people that live around me. And that way, when we do vacation or they're on vacation or people aren't home, we're always keeping an eye out for each other. So it's just a friendly thing to do. Plus, why wouldn't you want to know your neighbors? They're going to be living next door to you probably for as long as you're going to be living there. So it's just a good idea to do that. So that's tip number four, okay? And this is going to lead me into tip number five. So tip number five, I think it's really important. I think a lot of times we don't think about it. And I think too often we don't think about it because I think a lot of times if we talk about it, we feel that something's going to happen, right? So this is going to lead me into making an estate plan, wills and trust. Now that you have this big asset, you're going to want to make sure that everything's in line in case something does happen, right? The last thing you want to do is for something to happen to you and you have no will or no estate planning and stuff, and now you're going to leave such a big burden to your family members, right? So Why would you want anybody else to dictate what you worked so hard to get? So tip number 5 is talk to an attorney, somebody who knows what they're doing as far as estate planning and stuff, and set something up for yourself and for your family. It'll alleviate so many problems later on in life like that. So that's my tip number 5. I'm actually down below in the links, or down below in the description, I'll have a link to a lawyer who does estate planning and wills. Reach out to them, let them know that you reached out to them for the fact that you bought a house, or maybe you just want to update your information and stuff. So great person, she really knows what she's doing. So I'll put that in the description down below. All right, so I'm actually going to leave you with the bonus tip right now, so check this one out. So like I said, for my bonus tip, so which would be tip number 6, and I don't even consider it a bonus, I think it's just a must, right? So now that you've gotten everything complete and stuff like that, you've changed out your locks, you've talked to an attorney about setting up an estate plan, you've gotten the mail, you got the address changed out, you've painted, you moved in your furniture, so you're kind of getting settled in and stuff like that. But I'm sure there's still so much more that you want to do, and you're thinking, oh my God, like I don't want to have anybody over. Well, like I said, my bonus tip is celebrate your win. It's such an awesome thing to have bought in a house, regardless of what city, what state you're in. It's just a wonderful thing, and I think it should be celebrated with your friends and your families. Who cares if it's not perfect? Who cares if you have furniture or no furniture? Just celebrate. Have people over, have a barbecue, have drinks, do whatever you're gonna do to enjoy yourself, but celebrate the win. It's really, really important, I think, just as important to do everything else that we need to do. So life could be really stressful, and I think this is one of the biggest things that you can do, is to celebrate with your friends and your family. Grab some wine, grab some beers, grab some barbecue, whatever the case may be, just get together and celebrate your win. So congratulations again. Hopefully this helps out. Very simple tips. We're at the end of the year of 2022. I'm just trying to keep it simple for everybody. So thank you, congratulations, and we'll see you on the next video. And I'm actually going to put a link to some other videos as far as tips to selling. So take a look at that.